Enfield guru. O-rings. Oil filter. More O-rings. Well, folks, it looks like we've got something to do today. Hey, how you folks doing? So, you couldn't tell from the intro, it's time to change that oil. Been letting her warm up for 2 minutes. Now we're going to turn her off. I want to talk a little bit about something that is the reason why I bought this motorcycle. This thing actually comes with an owner's manual, and not like your regular owner's manual. It's an owner's manual that tells you how to do things, like not just set your tripometer, but change the oil. So today, I drove her back from the beach. She's sitting right on 400 miles, and she's a little bit overdue for service. My oil filter came in, which I had to special order. So we're going to start, and I'm going to walk you through my motorcycle's first oil change. Alright folks, if you look right here on page 85 of your manual, this is where the oil change begins. Going ahead and setting her up. The bike comes standard, believe it or not, with a center stand. I had to pay $100 for mine on my Africa Twin, so that's kind of nice. But first thing she says that you need to do is you got 2 drain plugs, one right here, one right here. And I got an oil pan set up underneath, and we're going to go ahead and pull off this bash plate. Even though it's plastic, they still call it a bash plate. So I'm going to grab an Allen head wrench and wrench out these, looks like 5 screws. Alright folks, back at it. Okay, so I've removed the plastic bash plate. That will probably be something we remove pretty quickly. It was in fact just 2 5mm Allen head screws. This piece was a 4mm, but it just allows for access to this bolt up here for some reason. Anyway, I got something set up here because I got a feeling this is going to pour all over everywhere. But we're going to go ahead and remove these 2 bolts. They are both 17mm. Try to prevent a little bit of mess, but reaching back and grabbing the camera, it still got a little messy in there. You can see those 2. Also, you know, just to speed things along a little bit, remove the oil filler cap. That allows that, so you ain't got no vacuuming holding any of that oil in there. And let's see, we're going to follow on. I believe the next step is to take a wrench, apply those 2 filters out. Okay folks, so we're working our way through this. I'm going to get this over here in the light so we can see. So this is one of the 2 strainers, and in the directions it provides, I need to replace this. There is a whole bunch of little O-rings that come if you get the kit. Now you really should get the kit that allows you to do the full service. There's 2 O-rings that go on these, and then there's 2 more O-rings right here and here, and those right here and here and those go around your drain plug, a new drain plug O-ring. You got 2 drain plugs. They're 17mm, as I discussed before, and they're going to be torqued back to 17 Newton meters. So I'm going to change out these, and I'm going to show you me putting them back in. I'm sorry, I said 17. I meant 13 Newton meters, and that's about 10 pounds. So we're going to torque those back down, but first I'm going to switch out these O-rings and lubricate them with oil. Oil for these, water-based lubricant for these. Don't know what you're going to use for water-based lubricant, but I've got some KY gel. As best I can, we got the new O-rings on, lubricated. You just stick these back in here, and it says to push them in until they are seated. You can feel there's a little spot back there. Clearly in the crankcase, you could accidentally leave these out. If you look down in that little hole, there's a hole these little boogers got to go into. And put that in that hole. Come on, get in there. Now this one's being a little bit difficult. Alright, I'm going to pause the camera while I focus on getting this one in. Folks, as you can see there, I was finally able to get that in. I had to just turn the little piece until it finally squeezed in there. Now, in the directions at this point, it says to put the things back in and to put those drain plugs back in and then fill the plug. But right here is your oil filter on the other side of the bike. Your oil filter housing is right here. It takes a 14 millimeter Allen head wrench. I'm going to go ahead and pop the oil filter before refilling it, just to get that last little bit of oil out of the crankcase. No big surprise there, as I suspected. Here is the oil filter. Here is the casing that goes over. It's kind of nice. Dropped it in the oil. Probably shouldn't have done that. It came off. There's a spring inside. It says to remove the spring. We're going to worry about getting the filter out first. So I'm going to pull this filter out. And then there's an O-ring. Got to check in here. I know the O-ring is not in here. I'm checking in here just to make sure. But here is the O-ring around the outside. And so we're going to clean this up, get our new filter, and then I'll do that, reattach that, then I will start filling back up my oil. Well, folks, as you can see, I've got everything cleaned up here. Here is your oil filter and your new gasket, oil filter housing and your new gasket. This is the old one. Use a pair of tweezers if you don't know how. They make these little, these cute little things that like dip down in and can pull off. They're also in a lot of like gun cleaning kits, but you know, just a pair of tweezers, if you're careful, should be just fine. And then here we have our Royal Enfield original oil filter number 574297. We're just going to walk over here and we're going to go ahead and install this into our housing, and it fits all nice and pretty. Then I get our oil filter housing and just screw that back on, righty tighty. And then I'm gonna go check to see how many Newton meters I gotta tighten that puppy down to, and we will be done with our oil filter. Alright folks, we got 16 foot-pounds or 22 Newton meters. And you hear doesn't make the click it used to, but there it is. It's 16 foot-pounds. And that's all she needs. Don't over tighten. Alright folks, and these are going to be 10 foot-pounds, 12 Newton meters. It's like 9.8, something like that in the direct conversion, but my torque wrench doesn't recognize that 0.8, so we're going to go ahead and tighten these down to 10. There's 2 of them. I'm interested to see how long this video is going to be when I get done, because keep in mind I stop, I read ahead, I make sure I'm not telling you the wrong stuff. Even though I did that, there's been a couple of times I said, I gave you the wrong Newton meters. Again, 22 Newton meters on the other side. That was 16 foot-pounds. This is 13 Newton meters for 10 foot-pounds. We're going to go ahead and get those in there. Already got our torque wrench set up. And pop. Good 10 foot-pounds. And pop. 10 foot-pounds. Okie doke. Well, folks, she's all buttoned up. She's ready for us to put oil back in, except for one small factor. I've got to replace the O-ring, believe it or not, on the oil fill plug. It comes with an O-ring for that too, so just be aware. Here's the old one, here's the new one. Now I'm gonna do that, and then we will refill her with oil. Folks, and we gotta get our oil in here. This is so hard holding a camera. Got all shaky cam going. So a standard US quart is 946 milliliters, just shy of a liter. The bike calls for 2.1 liters of oil. So we're going to start by putting in 2 US quarts. We're going to check our sight bubble on the side of the motorcycle, and then once we've checked the sight bubble, we're going to fill until we get to the top of the sight bubble according to the directions that I read. And then once we do that, we're going to let it run for 2 minutes. Alright, catch you in a second. So here's the drill. I caught it just in time. It was going up the sight glass quick. I did not quite get too full. So I'm going to follow the directions, fill it up to the top, reinstall this, and then start and let her run for 2 minutes. Make sure there ain't nothing underneath. You see I've cleaned everything out. And then let's start her back up. See you in 2 minutes. We stopped it right at 2 minutes of running. The oil is starting to come back into the oil fill, but I have a feeling we're going to be able to put at least 2 quarts in her. So she's slowly starting to get there, but I'll probably let's see if that helps. Nope, I know help. Yeah, so we're going to finish filling her up real quick, and then I guess we're going to reinstall our bash guard, and then reset our folks. So we're going to put this little bash plate back on. This goes back up here. There's 2 little bolts. 5mm Allen head screws. There's the bracket right there. Just line up the bracket. Well, try to line up the bracket. And then maybe you get it back on. Well, thought maybe I could run the camera while I was doing this, but I don't think I will be able to. Aha, so joke's on me. So one of those things that you forget that you did when you took it apart, this hose right here comes out, and then this piece goes up into here. That's what holds this bash plate in. Then once you get that lined up, which I couldn't do while holding the camera, we put in these two 5mm Allen head screws, and then you are buttoned up. All right. So at this point, we got to reset the tripometer, and again, I'm going to have to go to the manual to find out how to do that. So I don't know why it works this way, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you. So when you make sure that you have yours set up in settings to show service due in, for some reason mine says 6,213 miles. Probably gonna do it before then, but you have to have the bike in 6th gear, and then you have to press the joystick button to the left, and it will reset your days. It was really weird. I had to watch it several times. Also, to actually enter the settings menu, I had to start the bike, which was super weird. So I'm going to have to talk a little bit louder. So I hit the home screen. And then center press this, and it opened that up. But if the bike was turned off, it would not do that. So you're going to have to turn your bike on to set these settings. I'm going to assume I can turn it on. Yeah, it didn't go back off. But you can go through and set these settings. It did not, I didn't see anywhere where I could set a preference for a different yeah, see, mine, you can either turn the service due in or turn the service due off. So, but that's what I got. For some reason, to do this, it had to be in 6th gear. I'm going to go through now and do the rest of the PMI, the recommended service, and I will walk you through that. Okay, folks, I was going to finish this up with my GoPro, but my GoPro ran out of memory card space. So here we go. For those of you who want to continue to ride your Himalayan and take care of literally everything, you're going to need to check your coolant level. That can be found right here. Mine is good. The next inspection point is going to be your clutch free play. You're also going to want to lubricate your pivot points here, here, and here on your pivot points. And then you're going to want to check your front. That's good. And rear brake reservoir. That's good. While you're here at your rear brake reservoir, you're going to make sure that your brake pivot is not getting loose. Mine is good, as can be expected. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to inspect your brake pads. I don't know why Royal Enfield would be worried about your brake pads going out after only 300 miles, but I'm looking for a good inspection spot. Yes, okay, so I can inspect these over here on this side, and then I can even see, yes, I have plenty of brake pad right here. On the back, should be a little bit easier. Oh yeah, you can see both right here. I barely used. Tires, I don't know how long these factory tires are going to last, but you know, they've Not got hardly any use out of them yet. So the next thing that you'll want to do is, well, folks, I would love to finish this video for you. All that is remaining is me checking the chain tension as the Himalayan is set to have 4 centimeters of play. Unfortunately, my phone, for whatever reason, the sound gave out, and now all you can see is the video without the audio. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here and switch to the outro. I will see you again next week.
Thank you for joining me for my latest installment. I hope you enjoy the new content. Rest assured, I'll continue creating adventure motorcycle videos. We'll also be modifying the Himalayan 450 soon to make it more adventure ready. Most importantly, I'll be testing it right here in the local area. I'm hoping to do that with my Facebook group. Right now, we have just 5 members, but I'd really love to see that grow. If you enjoy my content, head over to the Facebook group Lost in the Bush and join the page. We already have an upcoming trip planned, and I share downloadable content there as well. Soon, I hope to include all the GPX files for every adventure ride we take this summer. Also, if you haven't noticed, I'm working hard to grow this YouTube channel. I'm not monetized yet, and as of now, I think I have only 12 subscribers. If you're watching and enjoy what I'm doing, please share the channel with others. Subscribe, and I'll keep my current schedule of releasing 1 video a week every Tuesday. Speaking of schedules, did you know that YouTube requires a certain number of watch hours and subscribers to provide good analytical data? If I had that, I could better plan my content around times that work best for you, the viewer. Before I go, please leave a comment. I try to respond to every single one, especially at this early stage. Do you have questions? Is there a topic you'd like me to cover? Or maybe you're upset I didn't stop by your favorite place in Canada. Let me know, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.